getting all that shit. Now come on, you gon' have to back it up. If I get too high, I might never come down. I might never come. You might not ever come down. No, I wanna get down.
Yeah.
Lick.
You should always know when it's coming.
Yeah.
If you're a pro.
Yeah. I mean, surprise cum shot or real shots are good. What? Did I get one? Thank you. Oh,
Well,
man.
but your punchline was like, are good. Like, yeah, whatever. Sorry, I'm just being nitpicky on writing.
I don't even know if that was
It wasn't.
Yeah, I don't even know what it was, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on around me. I'm like Towley from South Park. I have no idea what's going
I have no
on.
idea what's going on. Man.
Whoa, dude! Why did you just spill chips all over my PC, bruh?
Oh, damn, I didn't know there were any left.
You lick that shit up. Suck it up. Suck it up, Buttercup. Come on, suck them all up. Suck them. Don't
They're
you
spilling
dare.
out the back.
Oh, man. We're
It's
gonna
kind of hot.
You need to blow those off right now.
Oh, fuck.
Blow those chips off. Matt, do you know that on the end of my penis there's a chip? There really is, man. I don't know if you're a fan of the show or
I don't know
not.
if you can see the back. No, you definitely can't see the backside of this. There's a whole other line of chips you can get. I'll get you a straw.
No, I'm leaving those for the roaches.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I just talked about how we sprayed for bugs from after Irma, and I just threw Lay's potato chips all around. Oh, that's amazing.
Aaron says Maduri. He says Maduri.
Dan Maduri hates chips.
Yeah, he says Maduri.
Yeah,
Maduri.
that's what do you do. You know?
Maduri.
You ever listen to Dan Maduri on AM 820? Your conversation station.
Yes.
Rim shot.
Hey, it's a morning show, everybody.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Talk chat.
Thank you.
Dirk.
And the Dan Maduri, he's really good at what he does. I love
He
the
is
guy.
actually really good.
I love his show. I listen
But
to
he
it
repeats
religiously.
himself.
But he does repeat himself. Like all the
He
time.
repeats himself?
He repeats
He
himself.
repeats himself.
I hear
That's
you
what he
repeat
does.
yourself.
Yeah,
He repeats himself.
that's what he does.
Oh, do you guys do that rule of three? Like, if you hear something twice, do you have to do it the third time?
Yeah.
That happens to me.
Where's my rim shot? Thank you.
You're welcome.
What?
Well, there was 2 rim shots. I had to give him a third.
Why's it gotta be a rock?
That's a callback.
Explain this rule of 3.
Hold on a second. Here, let's bring our mics in a little bit here.
Okay.
You're live on the Kevin Holly Show. Is this Officer Bob Safety?
Yeah, that's him.
Officer Smiley.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a treat for the Kevin Holly Show tonight. We have a real live Florida law enforcement officer calling in the show.
Leo
What's up,
alert!
man?
Leo alert!
What's going on, guys?
How the hell are you, man?
Are you FHP or are you...
It's
No, we're not going to say.
That is not
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
too specific. Okay.
We're not going to say where he's from.
Do you drive a car?
I drive a vehicle.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
nice.
got 4 wheels.
Right?
I got so many questions for you.
Do you have a license?
So,
Yeah.
I can tell you, do you have a mustache?
Oh, that's a good one.
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Right now, I don't.
Okay. What makes you want to grow the mustache?
Here, pull your mic in a little closer.
Oh, sorry.
This is the mic on the phone here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You're good.
So, what are the rules for your mustache? Like,
Oh, Movember. If it's Movember, you have to have a stash.
okay.
But other than that, work-wise, you just got to keep it like right at, like, you know, the ridge where the upper lip meets the lower lip.
Yeah, cop
Keep
lip.
it right there, and there
Your
you go.
mouth?
Cop lip.
We're all looking at each other's lips right now, dude. It's weird.
Compare the lips, guys.
Right. But, like, what if my lips are exceptionally succulent?
No
Well,
mustache
as long as
required.
it's not lower than your lips, then you're good.
Got
Nice.
it.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
You're just luckier than the rest of us.
So, Officer Bob, now I want to tell everybody that indeed you are a bona fide Florida police officer.
Yeah.
It could be Pasco, Pinellas, Hillsborough, Manatee, Polk. I don't want anybody to know. You could be a city police officer. You could be a
Okaloosa,
county-
And
Walton.
he's the real deal. He's not riding a desk or any of that bullshit.
No, he's out. I've seen
Right.
his police car before. That's why I know he's real. You know what I mean? But thank you for calling into the show. And I just figured we'd go around the room. If anybody in the chat room has any questions, I thought it would be cool because, you know, my grandfather ran for sheriff of Pasco County when I was a teenager. And I have a huge amount of respect for law enforcement officers. And I want to throw that out there right away. I thought it would be kind of cool to have an actual police officer call the show and let people know that are out there. Like, we have a lot of degenerates that listen to our show.
Yes,
Like,
we do.
yeah,
Right.
right. And I want them to know that it's okay to like police officers. It's not cool to like, the media has made it so cool to hate police officers, and I think it's bullshit.
Right.
So I kind of wanted to bring
Don't
one
be
on.
afraid to go up and hug a cop.
Well, I don't know if you should hug one. I mean, Bob, would you say it's okay to hug you when you're on duty, or?
I mean, don't surprise me with it.
Right. So don't give you a hug and reach for your gun at the same time.
If I say
No, that would not end well. That would not end well. But no, like at work, I got people all the time, you know, coming up, and especially lately with what you're saying with the media. Especially lately, I got a lot of people all the time coming up and just, you know, expressing their appreciation or saying, even just saying thank you or stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, you know, it's completely fine. And honestly, it makes my day, because
Nice.
our day, we don't usually, like, we don't meet the good people. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, we only show up to problems.
Right.
So-
yeah. It's kinda like.
I apologize for all the ones that I've caused you and your
Well,
buddies.
yeah, it's kind of like going to a
Yeah.
gynecologist. You don't go because everything's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, hey, doc, I got ED. This is not a good day.
Could
Wait,
I?
you go to a gynecologist for ED? What kind of cop are you?
Could I be so honored
It's, you
as
know,
to
there's,
start?
it's a roll of the dice.
Right.
Well, Filbert, go ahead with
Could I be
Officer
so
Bob.
honored as to start with the questions?
Yeah.
I have two. The first
Yeah.
one, just to break the ice. How many times have you pulled a female over and she's offered to show you her tatas to get out of a ticket?
Once.
Only once?
Only once.
Okay, well,
I've got 7 years.
have
Only once. They have related, but only once has it been like direct. Hey, I'll show you these.
they've never asked? They've never offered anything else?
Yeah, there's been stuff. They're sneaky about it though. They'll like imply stuff, and it's like, no, we're not. No, stop it.
We're not doing this.
I'll be right back with the ticket. Thank you.
Do you wear a body cam?
No, we don't.
Do you have a dash cam?
Yeah, we got that.
So if they were to offer you that would be filmed?
Oh yeah, it's old. When we walk up to your car, I mean, mostly every agency, especially now, there's at least a mic that's on, and then a dash cam on the vehicle. So the conversation's being recorded.
Okay.
So yeah, you'll hear that.
But my real question now, if you are, if you like me, like myself, if you are
Gay?
a licensed concealed weapons carrier and you happen to have your weapon in your car, what's the right procedure? Because I'm always freaked out. I don't want to move a certain way.
Well, here, the best and easiest way I tell everybody. When the initial contact is being made, if you don't already have your wallet out, you know, keep your hands at your steering wheel. If you want to let them know that you have a concealed weapons permit, there is a weapon, and this is where it is. I'll be honest. Most of the times, if you got a concealed weapons permit, you tell me about it, and it's just I mean, there's no such thing as a regular traffic stop, but if it's just a traffic stop, I'm not going to disarm you. I tell people, you know, you keep yours in your pants, I'll keep mine in my pants.
So are
That's a good way to put
are
it.
there any trigger words that someone should avoid saying, even though they might be thinking that they're doing the right thing and they're all nervous and innocent? Is there anything they should avoid saying in that situation?
It's not more saying, it's more doing. At that point, it's don't reach for it. You know, I've had people where they're telling me they have a gun as they're reaching for their pocket or their, you know, their belt or their waistline. And don't do that. That is not smart.
All right, in the chat room, real quick here. We got a couple of people asking questions here. I want to scroll back up a little bit here. What the hell's we got questions. Somebody asks, I think it was Spicoli. Oh, no, it was Nitwit in the chat room says, do you have more than one drop knife on any occasion?
No, that's something, man. I mean, I've got more than one knife on me, yeah, but I'm not dropping nothing.
A boot revolver, just in case you got to put one somewhere on someone at some time?
I'm all about revolvers. I'm not throwing one away. Come on now.
I would like to address Aaron, who asks me if I did not pay attention in my concealed class. I did, but your teacher is not necessarily law enforcement or has ever been law enforcement, so I'd like to hear what the actual Leos have to say about it.
I've sat through. I went and got my concealed too, because it's just better. You know, it covers us more. And whoever was teaching my class, and I'm not going to say who it was or where it was, but oh my dear, I feel bad for some of the citizens that have to sit through these classes. And on a side note, there's a lot of agencies, especially here in the Tampa Bay area, that offer concealed weapons classes, and they'll teach you like actual stuff. Like the class I went to, I don't recommend it to anybody, and I'm not here to down anyone, but like the guy was handling a gun in front of the whole class, and he never even once showed the class that it was not loaded or anything like that, and there was a mag in it.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, like safety 101. What are you doing?
Yeah, wasn't there that undercover cop that shot himself in front of like a bunch of kids?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he shot himself in the leg.
It was a DEA agent. You know,
Yeah.
nobody's perfect. You can Monday Night quarterback anyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was I still watch that.
There was another
It was
one.
funny. They were
where
like,
the guy,
"Well, here's this weapon," and everybody's like, "No, no."
There was another one where the guy was demonstrating in a class, and he was showing it to a woman, and he actually shot and killed the old woman that was in the class.
Yeah. I remember with guns, man. Just be safe. Like you gotta be cautious. It'll happen. You know, stuff happens. We respond to it all the time. Accidental shootings and stuff. I mean, it happens.
Officer Bob, have you ever been in a high-speed pursuit? And if you have, I'm sure you have, but how often would you say that happens?
Oh yeah, that's happened. I can't even tell you how many I've been in.
Wow.
I've totaled. I do know I've totaled 3 cruisers.
I love this guy. I love this guy, dude.
My man.
That's awesome.
How many times was it Vin Diesel?
How many times was it Vin Diesel?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was trying to be Vin Diesel, but the cruiser didn't hold up, man.
Right.
What, were you doing a pit maneuver?
Was it
Yeah. Well, it was an attempted hit. I think I rammed it.
Right.
I pulled a ramrod instead. But yeah.
Sicar Ramrod. Sicar Ramrod.
Yeah, it happens. It happens a lot, honestly. In Tampa Bay, it's such a populated community, and there's so many people. There's always somebody trying to get away with something.
Right.
So
I got a question for you in the chat room. Glick says, is it true the reason that cops touch the trunk at traffic stops is to leave a fingerprint in case something happens?
Yeah, that's smart. He knows his stuff.
Nice.
Yep.
Don't give him too much credit. We can't stand that from the guy.
Glick Googles. He Googles a lot of shit.
It's to identify. And then the other thing is we've had it where you touch the trunk to make sure it's closed.
Okay.
Because you don't want it to pop up and somebody pop up behind you. So it's a little bit of officer safety, a little bit of identifying that vehicle.
Yeah, that sounds weird to have to do, but that actually makes perfect sense.
Plus, you're also checking to see if there's anybody trapped in there that needs to be let out.
You have to make sure if there's any junk in the trunk.
Yeah. Junk in the trunk is not safe. You never know what's going to pop out. You don't know. It's hidden.
Another guy in the chat room, Spicoli, asks, well, first he says, quote of the night, he totaled 3 cruisers. The other thing he asks is, do you ever go home and play cops and robbers with your wife after work?
That's a good one.
Oh God! Look, I got on-duty cops and I've got off-duty cops.
Which pair is fuzzy?
The off-duty.
I think that was Smitty in the chat. But it's scrolling so fast. There's so many people in the chat room asking questions here. It's hard to keep up.
Smitty asked if he ever flashed his badge for good seats at a concert.
That's good.
No, I don't do. Man, that's how you get in trouble. I try to stay out of that.
Nice.
I got another question for you. Are you, in this day and age, when I was growing up, it used to be a thing that if you owned like a restaurant or something like that, you wanted a police officer to stop in and have lunch, and you didn't feel obligated to give them a free lunch. You did it because they were there and you knew that they were protecting and stuff like that. But nowadays, you got all these reports of people spitting in your food and stuff like that. Are you afraid to go into a drive-thru in your uniform and identify as an officer?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I no.
Shit, it's that bad.
I try not to eat at work. I really do. I try to bring in my own lunch. I bring a cooler with me. It's yeah, man. Here's people hate us. People hate us, and I get it.
Not everybody hates you guys. We fully support
No, not
you.
everybody. Most people are good. I will say that. We deal with the bad ones. So there's a lot of cops that they focus on that and they get twisted. It happens. But yeah, you don't want to. I don't want to eat somebody else's spit. I'm not about that. And I've had friends that they found razors in their food.
Wow.
I'm not about any of that. Yeah.
Wow,
Oh
that's
yeah.
ridiculous.
I can't believe how things have changed in 30 years.
But that's expensive. I mean, that's a razor, isn't it? Like, like they had to unlock the cabinet door, and it's
Yeah.
Another question out of the chat room. Do you
How they cut their Coke without it.
Speaking of Coke, when you pack your lunch, Officer Bob Safety, do you pack a liter of cola?
You have to have a liter of cola.
Right.
I mean, you can't drink coffee all night.
What about a large Farva?
A large pharma. That's the burger with the spit in it.
Hey man, are you excited about Super Troopers 2 coming out? I saw the preview on Facebook.
No, I really am. No joke. I've been following that. I really am. I wanted to come out. I love that show.
You wanted to come out? Whoa, wait a minute.
No, I want the movie to come out.
Oh, okay. I heard you wrong. Sorry. No, it's cool. I didn't know if we were going full, YMCA.
I've already come out. What are you talking about?
Listen, you guys are listening to Officer Bob Safety in the west coast of Florida, a real-life police officer, calling into the show to answer our stupid questions. Officer Safety, let me ask you this. Do you enjoy watching like programs on TV when you're not on duty, like Cops or Live PD?
They got to be funny. They got to be funny because if they try to be too to the T, like if they try to, I'll watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's one of mine that I'll watch because they make fun of everything.
Cool.
And they don't try to stay to the true law enforcement thing. Because when they try to do that, all I realize is the mistakes. And it just sucks.
Right. It's like a doctor watching,
Yeah.
Like what?
Right. Like all those surgery. Exactly. Yeah. So,
they don't give them
my
that
favorite
medicine.
Yeah. No, it's not that. That was diagnosed wrong. There's no way.
That was a 220, not a 490.
How many times when you're watching those shows do you say to yourself, "Oh man, that officer's totally doing it the wrong way. He should have done this," or
when I'm watching the real ones? Yeah. No, it happens a lot.
That's literally what he was just talking about, Filbert.
I was reading A. Ron's comment. I'm sorry.
And eating chips.
Yeah. What about?
Hey, can I ask you a question?
God.
How many times have you watched a live show and wondered to yourself, "Is that guy doing the right thing?" Or
No. Okay. So my agency's been on those live ones, and it's been like friends of mine. Even I ended up on one.
So you're famous.
Sometimes you wish there was.
Nice.
Oh God. Yeah. Sometimes you wish those cameras. It's like you start realizing, maybe I should have done something different there.
I would just totally let everybody go and everybody be like, "Oh, that cop was really cool. Cops aren't so bad. They're nice."
You know what? And on a regular day, I usually do, man. I'm not out there to, there's no such thing as quotas and stuff like that. We're not here to mess with everyone. I mean, and if you give me any bit of a reasonable doubt or just show me that you're a decent person, we're not, especially like marijuana nowadays. And I know it's so controversial because it's becoming legalized everywhere and all that stuff. We're not about it. But I'll tell you right now, if you're an asshole to any cop, you're gonna end up in jail.
Oh yeah, or if you're driving under the influence, you have no choice but to throw
DUIs. No, they don't. Even us, man. I've had a lot of friends that.
Or if you make it a legal lane change and you speed up and then you come back into traffic, crossing over the median off an off ramp at 65 and a 45.
Okay.
And then your excuses that that you're late for work.
This is what happened to Filbert. He's trying to.
Then you get a 2nd degree misdemeanor.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
Oh wow!
In Clearwater. I'm not naming names or anything like that.
Maybe if you didn't drive like an asshole.
Then you show up for court and you're in a tie and dress pants and all these people are like, "No, hablo inglés. I'll just come back in 30 days. We'll get a translator." But you,
okay, Filbert, I'm gonna turn your mic off.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna turn your mic off.
It's not his fault. He's not a judge.
So,
Matt, you have something for Officer Bob?
How often is it just a bad driver where you're like, all right, this guy's obviously drunk, and then they're just stone cold sober, and you're like, oh, they're just really bad at this?
I would say a 75-25. 75 are DUIs, 25 are just bad drivers.
You're in Florida. There's a lot of blue-haired ladies driving.
No, man, it's ridiculous. There's so many. It's like listen, Uber or Lyft or whatever. It's so cheap now. Just do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No, they don't want to give up their license because it's like their last freedom.
Dude,
And-
for like a 45-minute ride, it was like $30. It was like $30. It was amazing.
Yep.
Yep.
Rather than
yeah.
what, 10 grand?
Officer Bob, I'll tell you right now, I'm an Uber and Lyft driver myself on the side, and I wondered, this is actually a question that's been in the back of my head. And I'd like to ask you a question, man. Have you ever pulled
Yeah.
over an Uber driver and they're shit-faced?
No.
Good, because I don't get shit-faced when I Uber.
Yeah, no, that's actually not. No, it hasn't happened.
Do you get randomly drug tested? Asks Smitty in the chat room.
Yes, we
Yes.
do. We do.
Uh,
that happens.
Let's see here.
What
We'll go
kind
back
of
here.
shenanigans happens when you have to go to mandatory shooting range practice?
Do you have the bulletproof
Okay.
cup?
Oh God. Yeah. You listen. You definitely want to wear your vest too in the shooting range with cops.
Right.
Because it's like everybody's got to prove something to each other. I don't get it. Something with like the alphas, whatever. Everybody's manly. I get it. But yeah, no. There's a lot of shenanigans that happen. It's good. I mean, it's professional. It's usually better than any random range you'll go to.
Cool.
But
What? So you guys normally, whatever you confiscate, you have to check into like whatever you want to call the I don't know, whatever the area is where you put drugs and shit like that. But does anybody ever like plant stuff on each other at the office as a joke?
no,
Look what I found in Officer Charlie's drawer. Oh,
Oh
methamphetamines.
God, no,
No?
no. I mean, maybe a dildo. No drugs. No, you don't mess with that. You'll use every night you go to, if you got evidence or anything like that, you gotta turn it in that night.
What about
Yeah, you don't
donuts,
mess
man? I've got a ton of questions in the chat room about donuts.
Why do we have to sink to
I
that
have
level?
to. So everybody's asking about donuts, man.
Actually, well, okay, before you ask that question, like,
Would you like? There you
this
go.
one, okay.
Yeah.
What's the ratio to powdered sugar versus cocaine?
No, it's 100% cocaine. So it's cocaine.
Coke donuts.
Right, yeah, every time. Got it.
Yeah,
Now,
the only way to live.
if there is like a smoking hot female officer, is it like hell for her? Or is it like everybody's on her like wolves in a pack? Or
Yeah, like Holly Weinstein.
yeah,
Oh, okay. Well, I'll say this: it's. I got to give credit to all the girls that are cops. Number one, because I can't even imagine the crap that they go through, both with the guys that they work with and the people out there. But yeah, I'd have to say it's 100% harder for her.
I get it.
Because-
serious question.
Does that get a rim shot? Yes. Yeah.
Serious question, Officer Bob. Have you ever been involved in a shooting, like
Oh.
on the job?
Wow.
Well, let's not get too deep. I don't want to give the guy PTSD or anything, man. Come on.
No, I'm just
Oh.
curious.
now I'm getting flashbacks. It's stuff has happened. It's been hard.
'Cause
This is one of the. I don't recommend this job for no one. I'll tell you that.
Because I
Um,
understand that it would be like a lot of stuff that has to happen afterwards, like investigations, paperwork, all that crap. And some people, I don't know, I think they quit as a result of that. In fact,
There's a lot of guys that can't handle it. Yeah. It's not even can't handle it. It's you just don't get over it. You start realizing that the day-to-day showing up to work is literally life or death. So
Yeah,
it's
Don't you kind of sign up for it though? Like when you become a cop, after you've gone through the academy to get your first job, that you know that the time might come that you're going to have to shoot somebody. You know what I mean?
No, and trust me, there is not one person I've met in this job that actually wants to.
Yeah.
That's good.
But yes, the time will come, and whether you think you're prepared for it or or not, it makes no difference.
yeah, your whole life changes over $20 at a convenience store.
Yeah, right. It's always the stupidest stuff, and
Well,
yeah,
thanks for the great insight there, Filbert.
it's not something that there's nothing to prepare you for. It is what I'm really trying to say. It sucks.
I guess
you don't want to go.
Oh,
through
I
it.
guess we should go back to donut questions,
Yeah, I
Kevin.
No, Spicoli says Officer Bob has a new fan. Great interview. You're getting good feedback right here. He also asks, Smitty asks, what can I say to get out of a ticket?
Admit it, apologize, try to be cool, And don't put them put them at ease. Here's the thing. When we do traffic stops, that is some of the most dangerous stuff we do. That and calls for domestic violence, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, if you just turn your interior lights on and keep your hands on the wheel, and just be cool with them, like he's gonna say, hey, this is Officer Joe Schmo from whatever agency. This is why I pulled you over. How fast were you going? I might have been speeding. I wouldn't admit. Like I'll tell everybody, I wouldn't admit to how fast you were going or to whatever. You don't have to. It's not a thing. But just even just a mere apology. The truth is, we're gonna run your. This is the way I do it. I run your driver's license. I'm gonna see every ticket you've ever gotten. If it's not crazy, and honestly, usually even if it is crazy, if you're cool with me, you're not getting a ticket. Because I don't want to have to go to court on my time off, on my day off. No, I'm not about that.
And don't you want to build a rapport? Isn't that important as well? Like, hey, we're not so bad. We're cops, I'll let you off. I don't want to ruin your life,
That's my thing. Just listen, drive safer. Next time you see a cop, don't cut him off. And continue on.
Have you ever lost your composure or like yelled at somebody right off the bat, the first thing that came out of your mouth? And if so, like how should somebody respond to that? That's happened to me a few times.
It's because you drive like an asshole.
All right.
I do.
So I'll admit, when I was new, when I was new into this, now mind you, I've done it for at least half a decade now. When I was new to this, I didn't quite know how to act, and I feel like I might have been a dick before I needed to be, But you know what? Like, if you do run into it, which you probably will, listen, even cops, they're people too. Hit it with kindness. Hit it with something. Just don't answer back to it. It's not a time to prove anything, especially with somebody that literally holds your fate for at least a night. It's not a time to prove anything. I am far from that now. I'd say my first year, in between the being scared of the job and still figuring out what I'm supposed to do and learning, I can think of a couple times where I was an asshole before I needed to be. I'll admit that.
You know what? I like that you said that you were scared your first year, because I used to drive a marine forklift, and I put boats away at a marina. And it was big and loud and heavy. And no, I'm serious. And the person that trained me, before I ever sat in that chair on that big-ass forklift, putting 40-foot boats away 6 stories up, she asked me, are you scared? And I said, no, I can do this. And she said, either you're lying or you're stupid. You know what I mean? Because it's a big, scary job,
No, it's yeah, I know, I was, for sure. I mean, now I've kind of just given up on the whole fear thing. Whatever it is, it is.
Yeah.
Hopefully I don't get hurt, and I feel like I know enough to stay out of it. But no, absolutely. It's like you figure this out, and you're going to find cool cops, and you're going to find asshole cops. I'm a cop, and I find cool cops and asshole cops.
What was the funniest call that you ever had to respond to, or situation that you ever found yourself in?
Oh God. Okay, so this happened recently. This is a good one. So this old man, like literally 80s, right? Called 911. He's in his 80s, retired veteran, all the good stuff. Wife is in her 70s. He called 911 because she wouldn't cook him a fresh meal.
That's understandable.
That's abuse.
That's spousal abuse.
Elderly abuse.
Oh man, dude, we get there, and he's like, "Listen, I'm going to ask you because I'm too old now. But you're going to need to use your belt." I was like, "Sir, are you kidding me right now?" He's like, I can't do it anymore. My body's not what it used to be, but you need to teach this girl a lesson. I'm like, you must be out your mind. So we're talking to her, and she's like, I'm just waiting for him to die. It's gonna happen.
Was it a nice trailer at least?
No, man, it was a nice house. It was a nice house.
Did you guys do the right thing? Did you do the right thing and cook him a steak before you left?
Give him some donuts.
Yeah.
I opened the fridge and I said, listen, there's plenty of friggin' meals there. There's a microwave. You got it. And
Wow.
yeah, we got another call the next day.
Dude, I'm getting some flack, I should say, in the chat room here. Glick says, I can't believe that you compared driving a forklift to being a cop.
That's why I was laughing.
Yeah. And
No,
then,
no, I get it. It's the
being
it's
scared.
the ability to it's the fear factor. No, and absolutely, I would never do that.
Yeah, Smitty says,
No.
forklift lives matter.
So seriously,
Absolutely, they
Officer
do.
Bob,
Fork lives matter. Is that
seriously, on the up and up, on the level, you on the take?
Yeah. on the take,
On
no,
the
no,
take.
that stuff doesn't. I mean, it doesn't. It's not there. It doesn't exist. I've never seen it. You know.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, Officer Bob, safety man, I appreciate you calling into the show. We should probably let you go, right? I mean, it's
Well,
10 o'clock. I mean,
I just had one more.
yeah, okay, a couple more
Okay.
questions. One
Go
more
for
round
it.
with him. Yeah.
Okay. Who's harder to deal with, drunk men or drunk women?
No.
Oh, drunk women, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep, drunk women. Drunk men, they're usually look at you and be like, "Oh shit, I went too far. My bad."
Yeah.
Drunk women, they're like trying to fight you. That's
They
not
never
cool.
stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I used to work at a psych hospital, and I'd have either
Oh,
in
dear.
Tallahassee. So.
Oh, God bless
So I
you.
had all kinds of people. Like the FHP would walk and be like, "This guy's acting weird," and just kind of push him in, then shut the door. And the women were always the worst ones. Like the men would chill out, but it was always the women
Yep.
that gave us the most flack.
I don't know what it is. I don't know, and I'm not sexist in no way. But
Yeah.
yes, the women are
And I'm
100%.
like, I'm not trying to bait you. I'm like, this is a legit question because this is what it was like when I worked and had to deal with craziness. So I was wondering if it was the same thing for you.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's always that one. But if you had to compare, I would say definitely your chances are the women's gonna try to kill you.
That's
I
awesome.
mean, it gets bad.
Now, Aaron in the chat says, great, now a psych guy comparing to being a cop. Get your forklift license.
So women, they're either going to show you the boobs or try to kill you, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, that's
No,
cool.
it's there. And again, you never know, but yeah, it's definitely there.
I'm surprised nobody in the chat room asked if you ever saved a cat in a tree or something like
That's
that.
what firemen do. Yeah.
No, cops do stuff.
No,
like that.
that's when you call FD. That's their job.
Oh,
Hey guys, you got a ladder and a pole. Go for it.
People appreciate the poll, man.
Hey, real quick.
Yeah, no,
Good.
yeah. I was gonna say the worst animal calls we get in my area is rattlesnakes in their backyard.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
a Rottweiler just ate a child down the street.
Yeah, it's like I have dogs. You can't exist, and then we have to take care of them.
How badass are cop dogs, man?
Oh, yeah.
Canine
Cop
units?
dogs?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm not a canine handler, but no, absolutely 100%. Yeah, full respect.
One
Not
thing-
only for the canine, but for the handlers themselves,
Yep.
the deputies and the cops that are doing it. Yeah.
Just watch YouTube
Yeah.
videos of dogs taking people down. It's incredible.
Yeah. Hey,
Oh yeah.
another question is, would you be okay with a gay partner? I don't know what he means.
You know what? Okay. So on that, I had a
Yeah,
gay
on it.
partner, and I didn't know for like a year and a half, and he and I were really close friends. And then one day, as we're having coffee as a squad, like in the morning, like half an hour into it, he's like, "By the way, I think you should know."
Totally make out.
And he comes out. And the
That's some-
thing was,
that was some good
the
coffee.
week before that, I had told him, I was like, "Listen, man, I really want to get home on time. If you take this call, I'll owe you a blowjob."
Oh.
Oh man!
And he said yes. So,
Oh,
So did you
so
blow
as
him or
soon as
what?
No, I did not. But as soon as he tells us, he comes out and tells us, he's like, "No, I'm like, I thought he was messing with us," and then he says, "No, I'm serious. Like this is it." And then he looks at me, dead straight, and he's like, "By the way, I'll take that blowjob." And I remember what he was talking about, and I was like,
what do you do at that point? I mean, you gotta blow him.
I told him, I was like, "Do I actually have to?" I was like, I didn't know this
The
information.
verbal
I was-
contract?
Yeah.
You did not. Okay, I was misguided here.
Dude,
But yeah, no, I've worked with a couple guys that they are gay, guys and girls. A lot of the girls that work with us are gay. I'm cool with it. I don't have any problems.
we're
I mean,
fine.
each his own.
Bro, I'm looking at the chat room. Smitty says, want to go camping? Spicoli says, want to go camping? And then he says, oh, you beat me to it. And then Nitwick says, Brokeback Battalion.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, he doesn't like camping. He does. That guy doesn't like camping.
Oh my
He's
God.
more of a city boy.
All right, so for our listeners that want to become cops, what's your advice in a nutshell? What's the process?
My advice in a nutshell: don't do it.
Don't do it.
No, don't say
my
that.
advice
No,
is-
come on, we need cops,
My
man.
advice, I mean, honestly, nowadays you need school. You need at least like a 2-year. Really, I'd recommend go get your bachelor's. If you don't have school, you're not going to end up at a good agency, and you won't make good money.
Gotcha.
And if you're doing this job, you need to make good money because it's not worth it.
Well, you could find like an agency that's hiring by searching online in your local area, whether it might be county or city.
The best advice I could give is find an agency that offers sponsorships.
I was just
So-
going to ask that question. If you've got a friend that's in law enforcement, does that get you in a certain way?
Yeah, somebody that pays for you to go to school. They'll hire you. Basically, how it goes down is they'll hire you before you go to the academy. Now, mind you, the academy costs a couple of grand. You can spend like $7,000-8,000. I've heard of people spending almost $10,000. And the thing is, it's a full-time thing. You're going to school full-time. You cannot work while you're doing it. It's just not going to happen. So not only are you spending like $7-8 grand to go to this, but you can't work. It's over 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
So I would find I know around here, Hillsborough County, they sponsor St. Pete PD. They sponsor.
I heard the mayor. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I heard not the mayor. I heard the police chief on Hillsborough on 102.5 The Bone during an interview talking about that they're totally hiring right now. They have a shortage of officers and correctional officers.
Everywhere, man. Everybody's hiring. I haven't heard of an agency that's not hiring right now. Everyone is hiring. Everybody's going crazy to try to fill all the spots. We're in a weird spot where when the market crashed. Law enforcement and government, they felt it too, and they were on a hiring freeze for so long that all they had was old timers, and now all these old timers are retiring. They're leaving. They're getting out. It's especially with the crazy stuff that's been going on lately. A lot of the guys are just getting out to get out of it because they're like, well, I've survived so far. I don't want to push my luck anymore. So it's every agency I know of is in desperate need for good people.
Now, do you have to get tased to become a cop? Have you ever been tased?
You don't have to. I've been tased a lot more than I want to. I'm that dumbass. I volunteered for it. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And I got shot with the probes and everything. They didn't even pay for my money. It was the full. I got the full ride. It sucks so bad. I do not recommend anyone getting tased.
Bro, another question in the chat room is a serious question. Can you become a cop with having a wet reckless?
With a what?
A wet reckless? I guess that's a DUI, reckless driving.
Oh, that's going to be tough, man.
That's our listeners for you. That's our fan base right there.
And you know what? It happens. I've got friends that are in the same boat. It happens. People, it's a decision. Sometimes you screw up. That's it. People are people. But
hold on. Stop right there. Do I hear police sirens in the background?
I heard something.
You do.
Is that happening in your house or your place or wherever
I thought I heard a train earlier too.
There it is.
No, that was a truck.
Does that mean
I'm
wrap
at a
it
bar.
up? Does that mean wrap it up?
He's at a bar.
Yeah.
Working on that wet and reckless, huh?
He Ubered, man.
Is there any truth to the myth of if I have a fraternal order of police brotherhood sticker in my window that I might get treated a little more leniently?
It shows us that you support us. But no, at the end of the day, if you're drunk, you're drunk.
We're gonna get our stickers right after the show.
Yeah,
I already ordered them. Yeah, they say it's the Kevin Holly Show on the bottom.
We need a BLM sticker too.
There you go. Make your own. Make a custom. Dude, they won't analyze it. They won't even notice. Do it.
All right, man. Officer Bob Safety out of the west coast of Florida, a real-life police officer.
I just got to say that if I get pulled over in the future, I hope it's by him.
Yeah, me too.
I just
Yeah,
appreciate.
I'll probably let you go.
I just appreciate that your Officer Bob Safety record of 3 cruisers.
At a bar.
Yeah, man.
Right.
You know, people, you got. I've come to the point where you got to realize people are people. We're here for safety. If it's other than that, I mean, it's a bad market. I don't want to get a ticket. Why would I give it to anybody else?
There you
Right,
go.
yeah.
Nice way to think of it.
We appreciate you calling in. That was awesome.
Yeah, Matt Williams, a stand-up comic, who's been on the other line here talking to you, and Philbert, our technical producer, and on behalf of all of us and all of our listeners, Jesus Christ, what's going on?
What's going on down there?
Code Blue.
Code Blue.
I'm kind of curious right now, but I don't know. As long as it's not for me, I'm good.
Hey, dude, thank you so much for calling in, and I'd love to have you as a regular caller anytime you want. You know how to get a hold of me, and I really appreciate it, dude.
Go get him. Go get him.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, no, we'll keep in touch, man. Thanks for the invite.
Awesome, man. Be safe, and thank you for your service.
Have a great night.
Thanks,
Good night.
guys. Take care.
Officer Bob Friendly, everybody. Safety, I mean, whatever.
Bob.
Officer Bob Safety Friendly guy.
Yeah. Fork lives matter.
Forklift Lives Matter. That was really cool, man. A lot of good feedback in the chat room. Oh, man, I wish I would have got to that question. Aaron says, does he recommend never to blow?
That's actually a really good. That's a really good one.
Smitty
Always
says,
blow.
does he like Andy Griffith or Barney Fife? Aaron answered his own question about having a wet reckless. He says, I got a reckless driving after swimming. That's pretty... come on, let's give it to him. Hey, Aaron. That was pretty fun, man. I think we should take a quick break, come back strong, finish the third hour. We're already into the third hour.
Good
We're way
30-minute
long.
break.
No, way quicker than that. But we're already 10 minutes into the third hour, so we'll take a quick break. Come back with the pyramid game. You guys ready to play
yes,
the pyramid
yes,
game?
yes.
I wrote my stuff down. So.
All right.
Awesome. So anybody in the chat room, we're not going to take a long break. Chill out in the chat room. Play the pyramid game with us. Anybody that wants to call in after the break, 727-237-6010. We'll be right back with the pyramid game and more of the shenanigans on the Kevin Holly Show. Right. Hold on a second. I got so many windows open here. Oh, there it is, everybody. We'll be right back.
Chris Glick on the Kevin Holly Show. When he's in the room, he's off.
Remember when I offered you guys that book, How to Win Friends and Influence People?
Yes.
Should have read it.
Come on, what